Hey guys, Aaron Sagers with the Sci-Fi Network. This is a cornball question, but I think a relevant one. The movie, the movie starts off with sort of this message of hope and Superman's logo, and then it carries on with this call to action to get involved in a divided world. So, just for each of you, why do you think that kind of resonates in 2017? Why do you think that that is an important message for this movie to have? Gal, why don't you start?
Okay. Okay, I have something. So in the real world, we don't fight monsters. We don't have aliens attacks, right? It's us creating the problem. And I think that it would have been wonderful if somehow us, human, could get together and come together and just be and do good to each other and try to make the world a better place. I'm giving you a cheesy answer right back at you, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
One of the reasons that we make these films is because they're, and these characters have lasted for so long, is because they're inspirational and aspirational characters. So if these varied meta-humans, those who have superpowers and want them, those who have powers and don't want them, those that they come from different places in life and haven't figured out all their issues, if they can come together, then hopefully that'll resonate to the world and see maybe they can come together.
Well, and I think that's the thing, at least for me, that has always been so awesome with comic books, is you can approach things that may be a little bit hard to talk about or a little bit difficult to talk about as a group and talk about them in the comics, and then you get these superheroes who are portraying that. And honestly, it's one of those things where you see it on the screen and you're like, if it makes you do anything, even a little bit more that makes you feel like a superhero, then they did their job. So
yeah, and it's inspiring to see people with so much power who could go in a different direction and go toward the negative side. It's great, and it's important for us to see people with power doing good, and hopefully that'll inspire other people who have power to continue that.
Rob Case here from ScreenRant.com. This question's for Ben. Bruce has gone through a lot getting to this point and has kind of overcome and changed his perspective and succeeded in assembling these godlike beings for the greater good. But now Bruce is in a world where he sort of relies on godlike beings, maybe to fight godlike beings. How does he cope with that going forward?
Well, you raise an interesting point, which is that Batman, who is by nature not necessarily antisocial, but pretty private, a loner. And in this movie, he's thrust into the role of having to not only work with people, but bring them together and convince them to come in there and try to be, some kind of a gel with Wonder Woman to hold all that, community effort together. And that was a really interesting, thing to play for me. And it also does take us to a more traditional version of Batman in the Justice League comics and his role with the Justice League versus the sort of less typical version we saw with Batman and Superman, where he was blinded by rage and wanted to take on Superman. So it was a lot of fun for me. I also got to have a kind of a dry wit. I got to play off Ezra, which was a lot of fun. He's so funny, and Batman is like, Bruce is always on the verge of exasperation, and it was fun to get to show some other colors for sure.
Watching the team dynamic as characters is one of my favorite things about this movie, because superheroes are all just reflections of the human psyche, human personality traits, just personified and made grander. So everyone who's watching this movie will have something they can associate with when it comes to watching each one of these performances. And everyone watching this movie is going to identify with the differences between characters and the similarities between characters as well. I think these guys really, really nailed it when it came to their interaction or their lack of interaction. And ultimately, all having their eyes on the same goal, but just having no idea how to get there, which I think a lot of viewers will be experiencing in life anyway. And these guys smashed it, knocked it out the park.
And Henry looks great in dream sequences and as a corpse.
True statement. Fact.
Really good.
And if Superman had that porn mustache in the last movie, I think he would have won a lot quicker.
Just one last question for all of you guys. What do you hope that the fans walk away feeling when they go and see the Justice League? If you want to just go down the line quick.
I want them to want to see Justice League too.
I want them to enjoy this historical moment. They've waited a long time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, amazing story. I want them to go back and watch it with more people.
I am what they said. I hope that I'll enjoy the movie and find it entertaining, and I hope they'll like to watch Justice League 2, so we have more to explore.
Yeah, I also hope that people just have fun and enjoy the ride and get as much enjoyment out of the camaraderie of the group as we did, in performing it.
Yeah, just that exhilaration when you see a film and you really like it, and then you're excited and you can't sleep and you just like think about it a lot. I hope some people have that. Yeah, if they can feel even an iota of the excitement that we felt making this film, then it will have been a success, I think.
I sincerely hope that people walk away from it and they can feel what it was like for us to be a part of something so much larger than any one of us. I hope that people walk away with a sense of fulfillment from, for me personally, this is like my childhood dream, being able to watch it. Like, being in it is great, don't get me wrong, but like, I hope they feel that same sort of sense that I felt when I was a kid watching Michael Keaton, and all the other animated series and movies. I hope they feel that.
For me, I hope people walk away from it just, first of all, having enjoyed it and had fun, but more importantly, to have been inspired and to walk away with a sense of hope.